What's up, guys? So if you're looking to build a gaming PC right now in 2021, it's going to be a bit of a struggle getting all of the parts you need for that build. So a couple weeks back, I put out a video detailing my top 4 or 5 gaming PCs right now under $1,000. And for the most part, all of those PCs came with either a 6-core CPU from Intel or AMD, either 9400, 10400 from Intel, or 3600 from AMD. And they also had around a 1660 Super in terms of a graphics card, some even better, going up to like a 5700 XT from AMD. So yes, they are last generation components. However, if you're looking at a pre-built PC with current gen parts, you're looking at closer to the $1,500 to $2,000 price point, where AMD and NVIDIA haven't really released their budget focused components at this point. The 3060 should change that once that is released. But looking at that $1,000 price point, really comparing against those pre-builds I looked at in that past video, it's going to be a really tough time getting the exact components you can get in a pre-built to build the PC yourself. I mean, looking at a 1660 Super right now, prices are almost $500 for a 1660 Super. If you're looking at Amazon, if you're looking at Newegg, closer to $650, $700 for a 1660 Super. I bought one of those cards probably 8 months ago now at this point, before RTX 3000 came out, and I got my hands on that for like $220, $230. So they are raising the prices quite a bit now that there is all the shortages going on in the market and no one can get their hands on graphics cards if they are looking to do a PC build. So looking at a $500 1660 Super, if you wanted to get your hands, like I said, on 10th gen Intel, so if we're looking at an i5-10400F, around $150, so no problems there whatsoever. If you wanted to go with more of a budget end 400 series motherboard, then you're probably looking at like a B460 motherboard, and those you can get for quite cheap as well, like $75 to $100, even like a really nice kitted out B460 motherboard, like the ASRock B460M Pro, is only going to cost you $95. So $95, $150 for the CPU. So you're looking at around $250 for a CPU motherboard combo. Throw in a case, probably $75 for an H510 or a similar case from Corsair or Fractal. And then the only real components you have left are a power supply, RAM, and storage. So overall, you're looking at around $550 for all of the components you would need to match one of those $1,000 builds minus the graphics card. And then when you were to throw on a $500 to $600 GTX 1660 Super, you're looking at around $1,100 for a PC that you could get pre-built for around $800 to $1,000. So there's not much going for building your PC at this point in time. You're much better off just going with a pre-built. If you want to get into PC gaming that badly at this point in time, pre-builts are probably the way to go. But if you can hold out probably until the second half of this year to maybe the last quarter of this year, once stock has finally been able to catch up to the demand, and we get to see more cards hit the market from the likes of NVIDIA and AMD, we'll probably see, of course, the 3060. We will definitely see a 3050 and probably a 3050 Ti. And then from AMD, probably a 6600 XT or a 6500 XT, comparable to the 5600 and 5500 XT from last gen. So the whole point of this video was to be a bit of a Debbie Downer. I mean, if you're really looking to build a PC right now, you definitely can, but you're going to spend an arm and a leg to get your hands on all the components you're actually going to need to game on it. But if you are going to go with a pre-built, you're going to pay much closer to MSRP. The only thing is, they are going to run out of stock extremely quickly, and manufacturers are just replacing the graphics cards in a lot of their systems with whatever they have in stock and on hand. So one day you might see an HP Omen with an RX 5700 XT, and the next day you'll see it with a 2060 and then a 1660 Super. It's really whatever these manufacturers have on hand, but they are getting their hands on these cards much more easily than any consumer is able to get right now from the likes of Amazon, Newegg, Micro Center, Best Buy. Wherever you're buying your components, graphics cards are going to be the hardest thing to get your hands on. So yes, I'm sorry for being a Debbie Downer in this video. I'm sure a lot of you have pretty much all of your components together and you're ready to start a build and you just can't get your hands on a graphics card. And yes, a lot of people are shooting for a 3070 and 3080, but a lot of people are also just shooting for a more budget-minded system and want to go with an older card, but can't even get their hands on one of those. So keep your eye out for some really good deals on some pre-built PCs. Definitely check out my previous video where I went through the top 4 or 5 gaming PCs right now under $1,000. And if you do have pretty much all your components sorted out, I hope you get your hands on your graphics card of choice. And if you're able to wait until the end of this year for all of your components, you'll definitely see some price reductions towards the end of the year. Hopefully we finally get to see more stock of the Ryzen 5000 series CPUs as well. That way you're not just stuck going with either older gen Ryzen or an Intel 10th gen CPU. So that'll do it for this video. Hopefully I didn't burst your bubble too bad. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments about pre-builts or building your own system, definitely leave those in the comments below. And if you haven't already, definitely get subscribed to the channel so you can stay up to date on all my recommendations when it comes to pre-built gaming PCs, or once we get some components in hand, how to build your PC in the future.